All right, so that's like driving things, right? And like I said, that's kind of like an high level, quick overview. And now it's like, okay, once we get them, like, what are we doing to like convert them? Like I was saying earlier, this is kind of like how the funnel stacks. This is traffic and leads, and this is like over time. So let's say like if you're doing long-term stuff like you're trying to rank on the organic Google map, you're trying to rank for Chat GPT, that stuff could take a long time to do, right? So if you're working with a marketing company or you're just starting off and you're doing it, let's say you hired somebody to do it in-house for yourself, it's not going to pay off. You're going to have a negative ROI because you're spending all this time and effort into one aspect and you're not getting, you need leads right now. So that's where we hedge it with the pay-per-click, local service ads. We know that at $60 to $120 an ad, and let's call it $100, every fourth, fifth one turns into a re-roof, then that gives us money to pay for all this and keeps the ROI going. And as that goes and that's going, the other part is going to kick in as well. So now you're getting local service ads, you're getting Google Map listings and clicks, and leads from there, phone calls from there, and now you have a cohesive system. So this is kind of like the system that we use, right? Think of it like you're building a fire. You need something quick to ignite the fire, and then once the fire is up, you're burning wood. So it's like starting a fire with gas and then using the wood to burn over time. That's our analogy on that. Everything has different buyer intent. This is that sheet that we'll share with you as well. That is this guy of all the different channels, all the average cost per lead, the average customer cost, and then the notes on it, like what tool is for what job. Organic social media, super cheap, cost effective, but takes a long time. SEO, local maps, highest intent, best leads, very profitable, but takes a little bit of time, right? Email marketing. If you have a small database and you're not used to email marketing, it's a very high overall ROI, but you have to have a pretty decent sized database. Right here, the Google Maps, this is a great play. And these are the types of improvements that we're looking for. So we optimize these, or you could see like we started off on July 14th on this one last year. And then in August, a couple weeks later, average ranking was a 3.86. And we had a 50% improvement. Now they're in the top three 90% of the time in this area. And you want to do that for all your good fit keywords, high intent keywords. And like we talked about this, local service ads. This is Google's premium product. It resembles the maps. They used to call it Google Guaranteed. They even had a guarantee with it as well, that if the contractor screwed things up, they would give you up to, I think 2000 it was. They stopped doing that because Google's like that. They're like the old Indiana Jones movie where he's got the golden totem, he's got the bag of sand, and he comes in with the bag of sand, and then the ball comes out and tries to kill him. That's kind of how Google runs things. They get you drinking their Kool-Aid, and then they take it away and monetize it. It's pretty ingenious on their part. Sucks for us because it costs us more money as a business owner. And then, like I said, Google Ads, super expensive, but very granular. You can control where they are, where they're featured, what keywords, most importantly, negative keywords. You can weed out all that junk. Me personally, I like doing retargeting ads, people that have been to your site or have booked an inspection, and then that pixel follows them around Facebook or follows them around YouTube. But that's a different tool for a different procedure. And we're going to be doing social and pay-per-click ad training this year as well. So yeah, we talked about this, the conversion factors, real images, real videos. I don't want to go deep on this, but hey, like number one thing that we see out there is having your phone number at the top of your website, especially on mobile. Like you don't have people scrolling through looking for your phone number. Your phone number is buried all the way at the bottom. We see that a lot. Another thing is like booking directly on your cal through chat or AI voice. Speed the lead. There's no reason not to be able to do it. Taking calls even after hours, having chat bots to talk with people and get what they call micro conversions, because we can nurture those small conversions into real conversions, real leads. And this is all in that checklist as well. Retargeting, automation, just tweaking those dials, getting more with what you currently have. And a lot of times you give somebody an estimate and they go dark on you. Well, if you have something retargeting them showing up in their Facebook feed, reminding you of, oh, why you should use so and so's company because, oh, 25-year warranty, best in the business, 10,000 reviews, 5-star rating, whatever, you want to feed them that information to help them come back to you. You also have to think of yourself too as like, where are you going to be like review wise, right? Like if you're not building reviews right now, where are you going to be if you have 100 reviews and your competitor has 1,000 reviews? Where are you going to be in a year from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now? That guy that has 1,000, where are they going to be a year from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now? It's really important to build this trust now, especially with AI coming to eat your lunch. You really want to build it out. And a major problem that we uncover, and this goes back even to back when I did B2B generalist marketing, is that a lot of these inbound leads, phone calls, web form fills, they don't convert. They don't turn into real leads. They don't turn into inspections. They don't turn into getting the sale. And why? Filling out forms and calling, that's an antiquated way. It's a very direct way. It's a high intent way, but people don't want to do it. Speed the lead. Leads that aren't followed up with in a couple minutes, they go cold. There's a thing that says after 5 minutes, the graph looks like it drops off a cliff. And then on average, how many times are you following up with your proposals, with your leads? The average is supposed to be like 5 to 7, and they find out that people only do about two, three. So it doesn't align with the averages. And then today's consumer, they're very nonchalant. They don't want to be followed up with via phone all the time, in a person. It's very impersonal nowadays. Text messaging, emails, chat bots, even talking to AI. They don't really want to talk to a human being, they found, until it's usually like the very end, or if they're in an emergency situation. It also depends on the price of what you're selling too. Obviously, if you're going to buy a $20,000 roof, you're going to talk to a human being at some point, right? But that doesn't mean it's always in the beginning. Things like setting an inspection. Do you really need to talk to a person? If I have to choose speed between human and person, I would take speed because the percentages are higher. But you can do both. You can have the best of both worlds. And then automating solutions also saves you money. It's more efficient. It standardizes your practices. Think of Amazon. When you call Amazon, you get the same kind of service and support every single time. It's not different per person. It's a systemized support system. So if you can automate things, if you could standardize things, the better it's going to be. Communication. So yeah, AI assisted, that is the answer.